coverage on this new mandate tonight. Tony Black spoke with local leaders and business owners about the impact these new rules could have. But first, I go one-on-one with a local public health expert, asking him if we are late to starting this requirement. We are just 3 days away from another mask mandate here in New York. With COVID cases surging, the governor is calling on people to mask up again.
But the bottom line is, I will say better late than never, because we have to do something to intervene, especially with new variants appearing in the state and on the rise.
Dr. Christopher Morley is a professor and chair of the Department of Public Health and Preventative Medicine at Upstate Medical University. I asked him if state and local leaders missed an opportunity to avert a spike in cases by implementing a mask mandate before people gathered for Thanksgiving. Last year, we did have mask mandates, and our slope of cases looked similar. But he says masking could have blunted that spike.
It certainly doesn't help that we didn't have a mask mandate. Masking certainly can prevent individual cases and probably could have stunted some of the growth.
Dr. Morley says the science is clear. Mask mandates and gathering restrictions do drive down cases. He advises people to use caution when gathering and says it's perfectly reasonable to ask someone if they're vaccinated before getting together.
It's important to keep in mind that we have other tools to use, including masking and social distancing, using caution, getting tested when we're sick, that we have to rely on the whole kit to keep us safe.
With the new Omicron variant emerging, Dr. Morley thinks we need to vax and test before large gatherings, not one or the other. He supports the mandate in New York City requiring people to show proof of vaccination before entering indoor spaces. Dr. Morley has this message for those who say we need to live with the virus.
We learn to live with the flu with vaccination and protective measures. And so, yeah, we should learn to live with it. But if learning to live with it means ignoring it, I can't endorse that, because learning to live with it by ignoring it means people in the hospital, and it means people dying, and it means a virus that continues to evolve and get worse.
It's the holiday season, which means many people are in a giving mood. Some give money and some give gifts.
But what about someone who gave a part of their own body to someone they've never met? Samantha Crossan is live tonight with this story. Sam?
Cicero firefighter Paul Coyer wanted to give his kidney to his best friend who was in need of one. Now, they found out later on they weren't a match, but Coyer found a way to help his friend out while also helping out someone else who was in need. Paul Coyer and Perry Galoro are best friends and have been since they first met working as truck drivers back in 1999.
His personality is kind of unique. He has kind of like, I'd say kind of almost like a warped sense of humor, and you know, my wife will tell you that we're like two peas in a pod.
That's why when Coyer found out that Galoro needed a kidney, he didn't even blink. They didn't end up being a match, but there was another option through the National Kidney Foundation, the Paired Exchange Program. If Coyer donated his kidney to someone else, they could insure a kidney for his friend. Coyer says it was an easy decision.
I'm one that doesn't make really close friends, and he just happened to be that he became really close, very close. I could tell him anything, he tells me anything, and I would do anything for him.
Right by Coyer's side is his wife and son, who gave him their full support, knowing how happy his best friend has made him.
They would sit on the phone for 4 hours. Who wants to be on the phone for 4 hours? But they did. They just talk about everything. They're a great pair. They're very good, and it's good for him to have a friend like that.
It makes me extremely proud that my dad gave up one of his kidneys for somebody else so his best friend can get a kidney.
Cicero Fire Chief George Barrett, who has served as Coyer's boss for over a year, explains that firefighters are used to giving, from running into burning buildings to delivering babies, all as volunteer work.
But then to turn the tables and to donate literally a piece of his own body to save someone else, you just can't say enough about somebody like that.
How can you not love that kind of giving? Well, currently right now in the United States alone, over 90,000 people are seeking a kidney. If you want to become a donor or donate money, you can head to kidney.org.
This is above an intersection in Fulton. Traffic lights dangling, trees swaying, people barely able to stay on their feet. Mark Pellerito with the National Weather Service in Binghamton is reminding everyone to be smart, as these weather conditions are not something to mess around with.
This can be a situation where sometimes people are tempted to go out right to the lakeshore to see all these waves, but you need to not do that. You need to stay out of the way. Do not get onto any piers or anything like that, because these waves can definitely sweep you off. Every year it happens.
And people can expect to wake up without power.
If you lose your power, you're not going to be the only one. There will be plenty of people who need their power restored.
Lisa Smith with the American Red Cross in Central and Northern New York is reminding people to just stay home.
So the one thing we always want people to know, especially in a situation like wind, is it's important to listen, to understand, and follow direction.
Since the strong winds could damage homes, the American Red Cross is staying prepared and ready for anyone who needs assistance.
We have our eye on it. We have already have in place opportunities that if power goes out, we can open shelters. We already have agreements with many places all over our chapter that we'd be able to turn a shelter around within about 8 hours.
Not only do you want to be careful on the roads tonight and in the overnight hours, but even throughout the day tomorrow, as these damaging winds can pick up tree branches and other items and blow them into the street.